Welcome to iPen Podcast, Interviews and Conversations. Here we bring entrepreneurs and their business to their audience and communities as well as ours. We welcome and connect with them to share who they are and what they do. Authors, entrepreneurs, we extend the invitation to promote your business here on our podcast and in iPen Magazine. Your article, your story, your promotions, how you can connect with others, a new audience, a quarterly magazine presented online for all to view and subscribe to. For articles, ads, and subscriptions, please contact ipendesigns@gmail.com. For your viewing, you can see past articles, past interviews on www.NanetteMBuchanan.com. Welcome to the show. Good evening. And I am Nanette M. Buchanan, and I am on tonight with my partner in crime, Felice Reeves. However, I just want to take a side step to what tonight is. Everyone thinks of comedy as fun, and everybody thinks about comedy as having an understanding of it's a good time. You go out, you laugh, you drink, you have fun, or you invite the comedian in and you make him make the room filled with fun. But behind all of that, you know what we do here at iPen Podcast? We talk about business. We talk about being entrepreneurs. We talk about how do you build? How do you invest? How do you stand by what you do and be about what you do? So tonight we invited two comedians who started on their own, and they've gone to higher heights than just the average guy that gets up and does an open mic. We're not talking about open mic comedians. Both of these gentlemen have been on higher ground. So we wanted to invite them in and see, not only could they bring some levity to the last couple of days that we've had in the beginning of this year for you and us, but also to explain to us exactly, is it always funny? Is it always a good time? Is it always, hey, I know what I'm doing and I'm on my way? How do they struggle through what we struggle through, trying to make a career? So first, I want to bring to the stage my partner in crime, Felice. Good evening, girl. How are you?
Oh, hey, good evening. Hello. I am super excited. But Nanette, I tell you, I was confused. I didn't know whether to pull out the red carpet dress or get my business suit attire.
Oh, you thought we had to get dressed up, and
well,
because we got the billionaire coming on.
Yes, the billionaire.
The billionaire. You got Bill the billionaire coming on. And people, I just want you to understand, we're going to dig into some of his pockets and find out where he putting all of this money.
Right.
Because he claims he's a billionaire. But you know what? That's also one of the insights that we do, Felice. Yeah. We talk about people that have dreams and aspirations. Absolutely. And if that man says he's a billionaire, maybe we should have rolled out the red carpet.
Yes. I was going to get my gown on and everything. And then I didn't know if I should wear my business attire because I got a full-fledged resume.
Got a full-fledged resume from the guy that said he's just ace.
Yes.
Then ace is on top of it. I mean, that's the highest card in the deck.
Right.
So we got to talk to these gentlemen on both sides. We want to bring them to the stage because they are a team, because they do things together too.
Just
so let's
like that.
Bring them to the stage. We have Ace Brown, and we also have Bill the Billionaire.
What's up?
What's up? How are you?
Amazing.
How are you? Good. Well, we do something a little different here. We don't introduce you. We did like a shabby introduction. We just said it's Bill the Billionaire and Ace. They think they hot stuff, and we just want to say who they are. But we want you, and we're gonna take Ace first. Let's take Ace.
You want me to introduce Bill?
No, we want you to introduce you.
You.
No. Can we switch it up a little bit? Let me introduce Bill and let Bill introduce me.
No, already the takeover has
Yo. This is no. You better follow the directions, okay?
No, that'd be good. No, you don't. Oh man, I got to give these accolades. I got to
follow the protocol, sir.
Follow the protocol.
We want you to introduce you.
All right. Ace Brown, actor, writer, comedian. You've seen this brother on Tubi films such as I Made You, Not to Be Played With, Risk, The Life of Floyd and Sabrina. He's also done Nickelodeon commercials, Cheerio commercials. You've seen him practically all over your comedy circuit and on your television. He's a father, he's a husband, and in some parts, if you ask Bill, he's that brother that he hates to talk to because I have no chill, especially if I have a hoodie. Now, if I go get my hoodie, it's a problem. But other than that, he is from Newark, New Jersey, now residing in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Is Ace Brown.
All right. Well, welcome, Ace Brown. Bill, the billionaire.
Come on now.
Introduce yourself.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to give honor to God. No, I'm just saying. Listen, who is the head of my household? My name is Bill the Billionaire. I know y'all see the name, but one thing I want to let y'all know, the check didn't clear yet. But when it cleared, trust me, we speak it into existence. Okay. But yes, I'm a comedian, actor, radio personality. I do it all. I got the Save This Sunday podcast coming along with my Good Brunching podcast that I get and do. Been doing comedy now for 14 years. I was recently in the movie Liquor Run that's on Tubi as well. And I also have my first comedy special. It's out on Amazon Prime right now. It's called Save Dish, but God Knows My Heart. 2016, I won the McDonald's Gospel Fest. And I do a lot of church shows. I do a lot of clean comedy. I've been doing that for the past about 8-9 years and stuff like that. And now I'm here with my brother on your show. So thank you for having
me. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, both of you. And to the audience, I do have a disclaimer. The guy that his name is Ace Brown. Actually, I've known him for years. I've known him a long time. Decades.
Decades.
Yes. I've known him for years. He's actually, for those of you that don't know, he is my son. He is my son. So Ace Brown, I do know a little bit about some of the ups and downs and the things that they go through because his partner Bill is almost like an adoptive son. So
come on now.
We've known each other for years, but I wanted them to come on, as I said in the opening. We're not here to discuss all of the accomplishments. We're here to discuss the journey. We're here to talk about what it is, how it is, why it is. And the thing about it is, in a lot of things that we do, and a lot of things that we have, we find people after they've already made it. You know what I mean? After they've already stepped into the shoes, after we see them on the television, and then we say, wow, I never saw that guy before. I never saw that woman before. Where did they come from? And we don't know that behind that has taken years of no's and rejections and times where they've been somewhere and they just have not done what they thought. So the first thing that we know is that it comes from, your dreams, your vision, and your purpose. Gentlemen, can you speak about how these visions, or where did you see yourself when you first said, that's what I'm going to do? That's where I want to be.
You want to start, bro?
Listen, I mean, we can get ahead. I mean,
where did you see yourself?
Hold on, where did I see myself? I'm gonna say it like this: the first time I did comedy was January 11, 2011, and I remember getting on that stage was at an open mic with all my friends, and to hear that laugh, the whole room, and to hear that laugh get there, and to see the joy people got, I was like, oh, I can do this. Like I remember going to see Tracy Morgan at Caroline's, and I was like, I think I can do that. And I was hiding my comedy behind hosting for so long. And then comedian Marshall Brandon told me, he said, when you gonna stop hiding your comedy behind hosting? And I was like, nah, that's what you guys do. But when you get on that stage and we're able to go ahead and bring joy to people in that way, I was like, I like this thing. And I've been doing it ever since. And I'm just, just fell in love with what we're doing.
Good. And Ace, what about you?
Sorry. We're trying to help our mom out behind the scenes. Don't worry about it. We're trying to help our mom out. So, little disclaimer, our mother, Bill and I, mom has said, share it to everyone. And little do she know, she sent the link for them to be on the show right here, not for them to view it. So I had to go find the link on YouTube, and I just sent it so Bill and I can share it to our people.
But you good. Don't worry about it. That we take full responsibility.
We do.
Our mother, you know what I'm saying? Because we know baby. We've gotten calls. So baby, how you do this on StreamYard? Like what button?
That's all right. That's all right. So we got you, Mom. We love you, and we gonna take care of it. We doing it now. Everybody can see us now.
Yep, there we go. We good.
All right now.
So now, answering your question, I saw myself. So, fun fact: I started acting at the age of 9. I believe it was 9 that I started acting. Am I correct with saying that? Was I 9, or was I 8? 8. So, in the acting aspect, I was already around with that. But like Bill said, I started January 28th. Actually, tomorrow is my 17-year anniversary, 2008. And when I saw that, I kind of had a different vision because of the simple fact that my thing was, I knew it wasn't an overnight success. Some people think that it's going to be overnight. So I knew it wasn't that. But I saw myself being I just kept setting different goals. And some of the goals came from people that we work with, where I was like, all right, how long you been doing it? All right, so my goal is to get past what you've been doing at that time, or at least to get on that level of what you've been doing. I didn't want to be, there are some people, Bill and I, we don't know them, but we know of them. There are some people that's been doing open mics, and then they like, I've been doing this 15 years. Like,
you want to make more money in 2025? Don't.
What the heck was that? Oh, still open mics. You're still doing that. And to that, my thing was, I need to make sure that every year I'm stepping into a new thing. Every year I'm trying to get a little bit better. Every year I'm surrounding myself with people that are going to push me, or I'm able to push them to be a little bit better. So I've accomplished, I guess I would say I accomplished that. But in the very beginning, my main thing was I was just trying to be the funniest person that I could be for my family to be able to say, you're not wasting your time, because I remember that from being a child, and you was like, don't waste your time. Don't play around with this. Be serious. So that was my main thing. Like Bill said, going to a show, my first show was at the Stress Factory. It was at the Stress Factory where, I was all right. And then all of a sudden somebody said, hey, God rest the dead, Big Love was like, you want to make us laugh? And I was like, what you mean us? And he was like, black people. And I was like, wait, I mean, black people don't come here? Because I was at Stress Factory. I'm like, what's up? And he was like, nah. He introduced me to the as what they call it, the Chitlin Circuit. Yeah. He introduced me to the circuit. And that's where you saw the Marshall Brandons, the Talents, the Capones, that's where Ricky Smiley, the Steve Hart, that's where they all came from.
Yeah. So
I got introduced there. My first show on that circuit was Marlowe's, right there in Irvington, New Jersey. And what? That was a tough. That was a tough.
Look. That's it. That those hard ones, but I mean, those is what really tell you if this is what you want to do. You know what I mean? We get on those stages and everybody thinks, oh, they just laughing everywhere. Nah, you got them people in the crowds just sitting there like, I ain't trying to hear this. And then you have them hard nights that you get on stage that, like, you sit next to a comedian and he just did great. They come and say, hey, you did a good job. And they just walk right by you. Like, hey, I was on the show too. But, it's a humbling experience.
Bro, they do this one. They be like this. Hey, you did fantastic. And then walk to you. keep pushing.
Keep going.
Wait, what?
When they give you to keep going, they be like this. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. But it's real. But I think we've all been there. And now A's been doing this 17 years. I've been doing 14 years. And to see where we've come from and the bumps and then I feel like this 14 years, 17 years, we still teenagers in this game technically.
Yeah.
So we're still growing, right now. But I feel like now it's more confirmation of us really honestly walking in our purpose and knowing what it is. Like I remember Ace said to me right before we did my special, and he said to me, yo, you're finally finding your voice. And I thought I always knew my voice, but I really didn't. But it took me to really start growing and knowing who I was and what my brand stood for to really know your voice. And that stuff comes, and people think they know their voice in their first 6 months of doing comedy, and it's like it's not like that. It's not like that.
And that brings up this question, because the thing is, we all look for, especially in these days and time. Now you got the people running crazy on the internet. Oh, we got to go here. We got to go here. Somebody even said, I need a chicken farm. And I'm like, good Lord, poor chickens don't stand a chance. We eating the chickens, we eating the eggs, we doing everything with the chickens. And now y'all want to put them on a farm. You know, come on. We need to calm down and understand what the whole purpose and goal is. Yes, we all want to have wealth. We all want our families to be able to thrive and survive. But the thing is, as an entrepreneurship, why comedy?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. As an entrepreneur, I tell anybody in any field that you go into, it ain't for the weak. It ain't for the weak. And but why comedy? Honestly, my thing is, I know what my purpose is, and I know what gives me peace. I was at a job that I was going every day, had a great job, but I was miserable. I had anxiety. I had a miserable. There was no growth for me. I felt like I was wasting my talent. And honestly, before I left my job, I was just doing comedy on talent. It wasn't off hard work. It was really on talent. And I said, I seen comedians that were working hard at it, but they had the time to get on stage all the time and stuff like that. And I said, if I get that time to get on stage and do this, my talent is no more long. It's hard work now. And honestly, this is not even work for us. I love what I do. I wake up every day doing what I love, and that's the most important thing. Of course, we all want to make money. But if I was just making little money, just doing what I love to do every day, I have my peace. I wake up, I'm able to provide, for my family, and I'm able to do what I love to do every single day. And I'm continuing to grow to where I was at a job to where I felt like they wanted to hold me at a certain level. Within comedy, the only way I'm staying at a certain level is if I keep myself there. So it's on me to push myself, to give myself that promotion, or make my own opportunities like what we did for my comedy special. I could have sat here and waited for someone to say, hey, we want to give you a comedy special. I said, no, I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. So now that people see, oh, you produced this on your own. Now they're like, okay, now they want to put the money behind you and stuff like that. So the real investment on yourself is, and knowing your purpose and knowing your work is real important.
And I think, Bill, you need to repeat that. I think you need to repeat just that line. Just that line. Knowing your purpose.
Oh yeah, knowing your purpose. Yeah, you got to know that's one thing. I feel like a lot of people, they try to, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and there's nothing wrong with having multiple streams of income and different things. But there's got to be a focus to get you here, one thing at a time, to get ahead and grow and do certain things like that. So once you find your purpose, get ahead and put your all into it. Make sure you put in that work. And then, like you said, it's not overnight. Some people, it might just happen like that. Oh, we just 1 yes away from our life changing. But until that yes comes, you got to continue pushing and doing. You're gonna have some hard days. You're gonna have some days to be like this. I'm not saying I don't ever want to quit, but you're gonna have them days to be like, look, is this what I'm supposed to be doing?
Right.
You support yourself. I mean, you surround yourself around like-minded people, and that want to see you go. And then people that are better than you. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Because you need those people around you to get ahead and help you grow. If you're the smartest person in the room, you got a problem.
Yep. Right.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
Yep.
Leave. So there was another gem that you dropped there as well, and that is investing in yourself. Too many people are looking outward for others to invest, but you have to model the behavior, right? Just like you just said, once you put together your own special, now people are trying to come and, support you, be a part of it. Because first you invested in yourself. You believed in yourself enough to put your own money behind you. And to me, that's just a fair exchange. You already know your value, and in a way you're already you teach people how to treat you. Instead of just holding out your hand saying, oh, give me this, oh, invest in me, do this. No, find a way to do it for yourself.
And a lot of times you got to look at what the investment is. A lot of times people don't understand that the investment is not just money. You have to invest time.
Yeah.
What you do, the two of you do, is a craft. And if you don't invest time in that craft, if you don't stand and say, hey, let me try to make this joke better. I know this joke can come off better. I know that this joke deserves more laughter. I know that this joke deserves more people to understand where I'm coming from. Maybe I didn't present it in the right way. It's just like a secretary writing that letter to another corporation to get the funds to come in. You write the letter the wrong way, you might not get that money. So Ace, tell me what I know you've always had that entrepreneur spirit. Right. I think we tried to choke it out of you when you were younger. Right. But the thing is, and I want the audience to understand that this entrepreneur spirit was not a joke at that time. It was not about being a comedian. It was about being a gas station attendant. Because
they had money. They had the money. They had cash in hand. It was fruit. They were making this bread.
It took us actually 2 weeks to explain to him that Citgo gave this guy the money. It was not his money.
Please think about it back in the day.
Yeah,
hold on. Think about that. When you paid the gas, where they put the cash at? In their
that person's hand.
You ain't had no proof of a cash out. That was their bread. That's what I saw. But I will say, to piggyback on what Bill said, for me, comedy was just the easiest thing. That just no matter what I did, from acting to being in school, to being on a track team, I was always the comedian in the family. I was always, he's going to say something that's going to be off the wall. He's going to have a difference of a thought. He's just going to say, and he don't mean no harm. It's going to come out funny. I'm going to be the life of the party. I'm going to be this, and when it came to comedy, it just got it was just like, this just seems easier. So a lot of people that knew me from, high school and everything, they rarely find it like weird. Like, yo, you do comedy? They're like, oh yeah, I could see that. Because you was that way in school. But like Bill said, going for it for full time is a different thing. And one thing that Bill left out about himself was the day that he left his job to do it full time. And I had already started doing it full time. And by that, you do have to have these little side hustles out here. We're not going to make it seem like we're not out here trying to, I don't want to say rob Peter to pay Paul, but we're out here pulling from this way and pulling from that way. But one thing that inspired me with what Bill did was Bill made a shirt that said, I quit my job to get to work.
Oh, nice.
I left my job to go to work. And
it was when he put that out there, I was like, yo, that shirt is the realest.
Yeah.
And it was time for him to go to work. But then I started to see that there were different elements in this thing of comedy. It's not just like you said, it wasn't just, okay, get up here, tell a joke, do this. A lot of these social media comics, that's what they have to learn. But it's also the writing side. It's also like Bill had to produce. It's also those things to be able to go ahead and do it. So, just a fun fact, Bill and I have became close over the years where I tell him all the time, like, blood can't make us no closer or whatever. I told him, I said, yo, you are driving this vehicle. I am in the car with you. Whatever turn you make, I'm going to be at that turn with you. I'm reading the GPS map. And he was like, but bruh, you're funny too. And I said, I'm going to always be funny. But you are the Biggie Smalls when I'm P. Diddy. Pause.
Wow.
I don't think you want to be Diddy right now, but I get
you are the Nelly and I'm the Lunatics. You are Method Man. I'm the Wu-Tang. I'm gonna have your back. We gotta push this billionaire brand, not because Ace Brown ain't gonna be Ace Brown, but somebody gotta take the forefront. And right now you have the momentum, which you getting ready to do your special. And you getting ready, this was before you did the special, you getting ready to do your special. We have to do what we say as Black people, build together to bring up. And he was like, well, then you need to help me write this special then. And we attacked it. And then he turned around and was like, now it's your turn.
Oh, wow.
So of course he's going to be producing my special. So to answer it and is told, to wrap this up in a bow, I picked it because it was just something that was so natural. Talking to my mom, talking to people. It wasn't like when I was like, y'all want to do comedy. It was like, say what? You don't what? It was more so, well, how do you get into it? Because none of us know how to do it. And none of us know where to go. But now, every now and again, when my parents, when my mom, my dad, when they do come to shows, they're like, yeah, you keep getting better and better. And it was the easiest thing. And I heard Steve Harvey say it. Your gift from God is whatever you could do, the easiest. It's the least stressful thing.
Yeah.
That's
the stress reliever.
That's
the stress reliever right there.
It's telling jokes. I can tell that no problem.
It brings me to two questions. I got a two-parter. So this dawned on me as you were talking, that there is a business side to being a comedian, but all comedians can't be entrepreneurs in their craft. Is that true, or
that's very true? That's very true.
There's definitely the business, like, and I tell people all the time, it's just not on stage. You know what I mean? On stage is just like, that's the final thing. Yeah, that's just the show. Yeah, show business. You know, and I tell people all the time that they don't understand. Like, even when I left my job, like right now, still to this day, I wake up because I gotta go to work. And me going to work is me. I don't care if I'm getting up writing. I don't care if I'm getting up going to the gym. I got it. Like, there's a whole thing that comes along, with this. And then when you're locking in different deals and you're promoting, getting people to come to the shows, because at the end of the day, I'm one of those people that if I tell you I'm gonna give you a certain amount of money, I'm gonna give you that certain amount of money. So if people don't come to the show, I got to go into my pocket to do that. And I ain't getting that check every 2 weeks. So now I got to get ahead and, talk to venues. How many seats does it hold? You know what I mean? And what's the, you got to start doing all these type of things. People think, hey, I'm doing the show, and think people just going to show up. We're at the point now, people are, going to come on our name, but not the numbers that we need yet. So we got to be out there pushing and promoting and getting people to come out, and then putting on a great product, for the whole thing. So it's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, that there are certain comedians that they don't want to do that type of business. They don't want to put that type of work in. And
we know a lot of people that are stagnant because of that. To answer your question, please, they need to know it, but they are stagnant because they don't want to do it, or they don't. They're so stuck in the 90s that this is the way we did it back in the day, and it's like, you sent me a VHS. I can't right. And then they look at me for that. Like, they looking at me and Bill like, you can't make something out of it. Like, no, we can't. We can't do nothing with it. And they look at us and they say to us, hey, how can we do it? And those are certain things, like you said. Should every comedian have it? Yes, every comedian should. Every comedian should have headshots when you start to see your body change. But there are some times that, Felice, if you ask me to send you a headshot of somebody and I reached out to them, they would send you a headshot of them when they was 25.
Oh, baby, I know.
Yes.
Well, they're glamored up, they're glamored down, but when you look at them in real life,
wait a minute, you sent me a picture of somebody else.
Right. And that's the business side that they don't understand. They don't understand that they need headshots. They don't understand that they need great audio. They don't understand that they need merch. Bill does merch. I do merch. Bill has taken the merch thing to a whole nother level where I'm sending him stuff now where I'm like, yo, hook my joint up to do it. But I will send Bill. I'm one of those, you my brother. Create mine like you do yours. And he'd be like, fine, no problem. No worries. There are times we have off-camera conversations, and I'm not going to say no names because we don't want to mess up y'all platform. This is our platform. I don't care, but I don't want to mess up y'all platform. But there are some people that will call Bill, and Bill be like, bro, so-and-so sent me this. What am I supposed to do with it? And it's a picture of some copywritten infringement. He like, this is copywritten. And
but you know what? The thing about it, I think, in all business, because of course, me being an author, it happens that way as well. I went to an event this past weekend, and the lady said, can you believe that this beautiful cover here? I only have 5 books with this cover because they tore it down. And I said, it's AI. She said, you can look at it and tell?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You know, and the thing is that a lot of people, when they go into these things, they're so busy trying to look at the quickness of return. They're not looking at if you go in depth and you go into what it is, they will. Then you can understand. Nobody wants something that's auto-generated. That later on, it won't be this year. It won't be next year. Right. But 5 to 10 years from now, somebody's going to come back with a lawsuit. And now you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. And they don't. So the thing is, they don't understand that the quick route to anything is not the best route when you're trying to put roots in the ground for growth. Right.
Everybody wants that. A lot of people want that quick, get to it quick, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I feel like AI has its good sides, but then it has its bad sides. You know, it's on how you use it and the way you do it. Right. But like I said, if you're in this looking for the quick come up, this ain't it. Because I know people, like when I say before, know your worth. You know, there's somebody out there that might come to a comedian, and I've heard this happen. I'm like, look, I want you to come perform at this show. I'm gonna give you $5,000 to come in and perform. Now, you know you ain't worth $5,000. But once you get that $5,000 and you show up and you don't give them that $5,000 worth, I'll tell you that'll be your last $5,000 check because that word gets around. Like and it's crazy, and it happens all the time because people are looking for that quick come up instead of knowing your worth and building up to get to that point. And that's where, like, and then my thing is this: enjoy the journey. You know, that's one thing I can say right now that I can look back and was like, I've been enjoying this as much as I do want to get there, because once I get there, shoot, there's more to do. So I'm like, hey, I like where we coasting right now, the way we're growing. But you know, you got to enjoy respect the process and put the work in. You know what I mean? When you put the work in, you will receive everything that is for you.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna just say one thing because your numbers go way up now because we are international. We just went international, so
yeah, we did.
Just put that out there for y'all.
We out to put that out there. Put that out there. Look, the thing about it is, I express this all the time to the audience as well as to our guests. We build a community. We look at it and say, if I'm a cook and you know how to make a dessert, and Ace knows how to bring the drinks in, and Felice can decorate the room, we can throw a party.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do and what we're trying to do is
we ain't trying, we're doing.
That we're doing, right. Because we went international.
We went international. What we're doing is we're bringing different people in, not based on the fact that you're good, bad, or indifferent. Don't want the audience to confuse it. You could be a beginner. We want to hear your story. Where are you stumbling? Where are you falling? Where have you succeeded where others have quit? And they were in the beginning process and didn't realize if I get over this, I can move on to the next.
That's real.
So even if you go all the way up to the top, For example, we had the gentleman on, he does leadership. We talked about leadership and everything. And he said, you two ladies need to go on a different platform. Okay, sounds good. He said, I'll be in London on Thursday. What do you want to do? We want to be on a different platform. You know what I mean? This is how the community works. We don't know who's going to see what, but we don't want them to just know your talent. We want them to know your vision. We want them to know your work that you put in. We want them to know that, hey, I didn't just jump up and hand a picture to somebody and they took it and enhanced it. No, I enhanced it to show you the best of me, and here it is. I mean, I didn't even have to ask Ace for a resume. I could tell you his resume. I could tell you his resume.
She's been managing him for decades.
But the thing about it is, as a professional, I'm treating him the same way I would treat any other guest. Hey, I need you to give me the same thing that everybody else gives me, because if anyone should contact me and say, hey, you had those two guys on, we'd like to see them such and such and such. What am I going to do? Have to run to you and tell you make up a resume?
Nope, it's a quick fix.
It's a quick fix. Here's their resume. Here's their information. That's what we want to do.
Yeah. So my next question, or my part two, is talking about the beginnings. And you said something about finding your voice and, not knowing you had found your voice. And from the outside looking in at most comedians, most of, maybe I shouldn't say most of them, but I'll say that their comedy comes from their pain, maybe their struggle or something. So what is the seed of your comedy? Because again, people that grew up in a rough neighborhood, and the comedy was the thing that saved them, from all sorts of trouble or whatnot. But what is the seed of your comedy?
You want to say? So you want
for me, it's and for those that either missed what Bill was saying or didn't understand as far as finding your voice, every comedian starts off following the person that probably inspired them to do comedy, whether that be Kevin Hart, whether that be Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Mike Epps, whoever it may be. You know what I mean? We bounce from place to place to try to find our voice. And when we say you found your voice, it's the area of that you can talk about forever. That the jokes just come because it's just you. You're not putting a imaginary person on that stage and they're like, well, that's me on stage. That's not me in person. No. When you find your voice, it's you, period. No matter if you on stage and you off, and that's what develops that. So for me, it's my kids, it's my life, it's my everyday things that I go through. There are times that Bill can even attest that something happens and I just say it and he like, all right, so you gonna put it on stage or what we doing? Because of course we're similar sometimes where we can write for each other and we can go into that, but we could write for each other. Yo, this fits you better. This fits you. Yo, take that, put this here. But for me, it's just easier for me to talk about something that I see every single day. I can go ahead and talk about the fact that I got two daughters and being a girl dad and my daughters being this way, or my newest thing that I'm just now touching on that Bill doesn't even know. Thrift shopping in my mother's house and my mother and father house, thrift shopping, because look, Bill, because I'm not trying to kill them off, but if they died soon, what do I want? Like, do I want the furniture?
Look.
A living room set, because that dining room set is looking real good.
You got some things in mind. You at your mom's house talking about, hey, get off the corner of that couch.
Right. You got some post-it notes with your name on it.
Why are you touching my TV set? I beg your pardon.
Exactly. Look, y'all better take care of that. But I think that's so important. Like, and I feel like with me and Ace, you know, a lot of our comedy is our everyday lives and things that we've gone through. And then you spoke about like the pains and stuff like that. Like there are some pains that I've dealt with that I couldn't put it on stage until I had either healed for it or was ready to share that side of my life. Because once you share it, everybody knows that. And you know, so and then another thing was comedian Capone. He's somebody that put me on one of New York Kings of Comedy. And I remember I was sitting there talking to him, and he says, you know, all four of us today had a day, but then we'll go into a comedy club and everybody's talking about the same thing. But if I go in there and talk about my life, can't nobody retell this is what I do and this is what I did. So when he told me that, it made me go back to my childhood when I was in special ed. You know what I mean? And now I can bring that to the stage. That wasn't something I was joking about back then, you know what I mean? But now for me able to get ahead and bring that to the stage and bring light to it and be able to laugh about it and something that people can relate to, you know, different things like that. So it's like I try to be as real as it is. Like even for me, like when I was doing I first started doing clean comedy and doing churches, I had one church joke that I won at a McDonald's Gospel Fest, and then I did everything else, and I was like, all right, just don't curse. But I didn't feel like I was being me, you know. And then when I started coming out with this whole Save This brand, it was like, look, I know the Lord, but I have my ish side of the life. And then I became so much more comfortable being in the church because look, this is how y'all gonna get me. I'm gonna respect y'all, but this is how you, and that being able to be free in those moments is what it's all about. And it's my story, you know what I mean? And I don't have to like embellish and go all crazy with it. I can just, no, this is really how I see it, you know? And so I think that's what's real important.
Absolutely. And we were talking about, you know, the live performances and the stage and everything else. And I know for myself, you know, there's different genres in writing books. And I always try to compare it to what I do because I understand where I fit and how I fit. And then I realized that you can't put me in a box. Right. You can't box me in, you know, because if you said, you might say something tonight and tomorrow morning you look on my Facebook page and I've written something and you go, she got that from me last night, you know, because the thought sticks in and the box gets open and I'm doing what I do. You know, I'm doing what I do. It just happens that way. So is there a difference when you say, okay, we know the stage is live. We know that the stage is live. We know that you got a set audience. You might even have a set theme. Like you said, you went to a gospel thing, you knew it was a gospel. You went to a reception, you know what the reception is, you know, or you're performing because you know the audience, you know who they are. Do you find a lot of difference in when you're handed that script, because you both said you acted, and you notice that the script wants the humor, but whoever wrote the script
ain't funny.
Ain't funny.
Well, I say for me, I've been in that situation.
I thought she saw this.
Yo, you just sit right there, brother. You just sit right there. Thank you. This is why I know when I gotta talk. Okay, you just sit there. But I mean, there's been times that I always, especially if it comes to acting or anything like that, especially when it comes to acting, one thing I want to get ahead and do is I never want to not do the writers, you know.
Exactly. So you're caught almost in the middle because
you don't want to disrespect what they put down.
Right. You know how to bring the character to life.
Yeah.
You know how to make the character a little, you know, better than what the character would be. You know how to embellish.
Yes.
However, you got this person over here that's telling you, I'm telling you, this is some funny stuff. And all I need is you to do this stuff.
Go ahead, Ace. Just say it. Go ahead, Ace. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be very political because my brother don't want, and plus this is y'all platform. I don't want to. I want y'all to be on next week. I don't want it when people are trying to ban y'all because of my mouth. So, but my mom if you ever heard of her, her name is Nanette Buchanan. She's always told me to speak my mind. I am that type of person. I'm that insubordinate sometimes where I be like, they'll hand me the script and I be like, this trash, yo.
Tell true, shame the devil. This trash.
Because here's the thing in acting, especially on this level. Now, there are some times where they will include you and they'll hand Bill the script and say, Bill, I know it says it on there, but be you. Like, what do you think this character? And as long as you don't pull it out of the character, you know what I mean, and turn into yourself, you're doing a great job. But there are some times that on these lower levels, you're absolutely right, man, that they think I wrote this and this is funny to me. And we as the comedians and actors is like, yo, this is trash. Now, it doesn't mean that the entire project is trash, but this scene you want me to do, there is not a joke in it. Right. And they're like, but you don't get what I'm saying. Right.
My cousin it doesn't attach.
It doesn't. Right.
The way you want the character to be. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's the same way I feel sometimes sending my work to editors.
Right.
You have to pick the editing because they'll take the whole editing and change it up, and you be like, well, wait a minute, you changed Melissa to who?
That ain't what I.
Why? No, that's not what it is. So I can only imagine, and that's why I put that in there. I can only imagine when you're trying to act the part.
I say that a lot of times when I do things, and I'm okay with it. Before I used to have that what's her name, Samuel L. Jackson, like, hey, cut the check, I'm gonna do it. But I can't do that all the time. Like, my thing is, like, if I don't like something, or if I don't like a project and we can't get ahead and go here, I'm okay with saying, this project isn't for me. Because at the same time, I'm gonna act it out and do whatever, but it still will make me look bad in what I'm doing, because I know
because people can tell. People can tell that it's not you.
I'm gonna take away from me. But that's why I've had conversations, like I did the movie Liquor Run. Y'all can go check it on Tubi. I did the Liquor Run. I played the pastor.
Fast forward to his part, and you'll.
But listen, my part was
fast forward to his part.
Okay. Don't see you just like the son. Just leave it alone. Just leave it.
Right.
I just was trying to make sure that
clarity.
Listen, clarity.
I went in there.
Listen,
and they had certain
police get the shovel. Police get the shovel. Get the shovel. Get the shovel.
I just said, hey, I'm gonna go do what y'all want, but I'm a tweet. Is that okay? And
so, Bill,
I was okay with, So
Bill, I've got your special on Amazon Prime tuned up. I didn't get a chance to see it beforehand, but I'm gonna watch that first. Then I'm gonna go to the Tubi.
Go watch that first.
Watch that first, and then watch Liquor Run. But I'll say this to wrap it up. That he's absolutely right. There are times where we can go ahead and do it, like in the movie Not to Be Played With. There were certain lines that the director was just like, yo, be Ace. And I was like, I don't want to be Ace. I got to be what this person would be. You know what I mean? So I had to tap into how could this person be funny, or how could this person be, that cool dude. And he got a great response out of it. Shout out to the guy, Barry Williams. He was saying that a lot of his hood dudes was like, yo, he remind me of somebody that could be with the crew. He remind me of this. And I was like, because what was on the paper wasn't what somebody would say. And that, like, if we got cell phones, why is my line saying, get out of here, you jive turkey? Like, we got cell phones. Like, we're not back in the 70s. So
and that was my next question. Comedy today and comedy yesterday. And for those that don't know, I'm going to give you just a little background of how serious this became in our household. Ace would go research different comedians that he would say, hey, this comedian? And I'd be like, what are you doing? Because the comedians were old. Okay. My parents used to play the Bill Cosby albums, the Moms Mabley albums, the Fred Sanford, Red Fox, play those albums. And here it is, years later, my son is reading books and information on these same comedians. Mm-hmm. So the thing about it is, when I asked, because I'm not going to push you into something that where I'm going to have to fight the crowd because they booing you. You know, I'm not going to push you into that. But I asked, well, what's the purpose of you going back and looking at their craft today? Because we're not doing slapstick anymore. We're not doing, we're not doing that. If you look at, like, just go back a couple of, 10, 15 years and look at some of the stuff that they did on the Different Strokes, or they did in Martin, or they did. We're no longer doing that type of comedy. It's still funny. It still has its humor, but that's not the comedy today. Yeah. So now, which is it? Which one was a craft and which one wasn't? Or were both of them a craft for their time?
I think they're like, that's one thing. I think they're all a craft for their time. But in every genre of anything, there's always growth. So there are people that started with comedy back in the day and might not like comedy of today. But some people have to grow with the new seasons that's coming on. But yeah, I feel like it's always good to know your history and to know where things, because there are still things that we can go watch an old, like, yo, how did he sit down this whole comedy set and not move? Like, I'm a high energy, I'm moving all around, this and that. He sat in one place and made somebody laugh for an hour. And it's like, okay, how did he grab those people? There are certain things that we can take and we can bring into today. But you have to be open to knowing where you come, where it started, and knowing where we are today, and bringing these things together, and then growing in that way. Look at basketball. Basketball back in the day was one way compared to now. It's a whole different game. But you wouldn't have a lot of the stuff of today if they didn't know what came from before. So it's important to have that.
I would even add on there the way things were back in the day. Like you said, we don't have that slapstick comedy. Back in the day, you had to have a gimmick. You know what I mean? The gimmicks is what it was. Well, we don't have to have that no more. You had to have a catch to you. You know what I mean? You had to have some kind of a thing. So a lot of people were having the names that you like. Is that their real name? Red Fox, Mom's Maybe. And that spewed into Hamburger and Shucky Ducky and all of that. So now when it started to transition to put your name out there, even though my brother is Bill the Billionaire, people have asked me, is that his last name? Because of the simple fact that they think it's Bill Billionaire. You know what I mean? He also put up there Bill the Billionaire Gilbert. He has no problem doing that because it's not frowned upon to put your name out there. When Martin, you putting your name out there? Your name, your name only supposed to be one thing. It's only supposed to be this. It's only supposed to be that. And now you see a Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, that this is their government. It's okay, and it's not frowned upon. The other thing is, back in the day, to answer your question also, Ma, is that back in the day had talent. And I don't think it's the comedian talent. I'm talking about people were talented. So like Bill said, there was somebody that could sit there, tell a joke, don't do no kind of animation, and captivate an audience, not in person, but sitting in their living room listening to a record. Right. Nowadays, unfortunately for us, it's how many followers do you have?
Right. Yeah.
Forget if Bill is funny. Forget if Ace is funny. How many followers you got?
Exactly.
Right.
That's what it's come down to.
That's where it's at.
Well, it's our whole entire world. That's what it's come down to.
It's about putting butts in the seats. Let's just be honest. Right now, the comedy clubs, we can be the funniest people, but if we can't put them butts in them seats, they'll get somebody that is not funny, but knows this place is going to be packed. And that's where, like I said, that's where it got to the point where I used to hold myself for my comedy special. I said, all I want is 100 people. And I had to tell myself, Ace was like this, yo, you done? You gonna leave that 100 number alone? Because I was sitting down, we had over 250 people, 2 shows. He was like, you keep saying this 100, you more than you more than 100.
We passed.
You don't pass that 100, but you gotta get ahead and know that, because that's what's important. Can you bring those people? Can you put those people in the seats? Because they can care less if you're funny. That's right. I've seen a whole bunch of people that I've seen people on Netflix, on Prime, that got deals, and I'm like,
how? And that's just it. It's the gimmick, and it's the offering that's outside of the talent, right? You got to schmooze them. You got to, they got to have all this extra stuff to get them to the seats, despite whether you've got the talent and you really are funny or not. And that's sad.
Yeah, and not only that, we got to talk about the total commitment. Like you guys said earlier, I think you touched upon it, saying that you got to be totally committed. It's got to be a morning to evening thing. Just like when you get up and go to work from 9 to 5, you got to put in a certain amount of time to make sure that you got the butts in the seats. You got especially when you're doing all of the jobs. You got the octopus arms out, and you're the promoter, you're the caller, you're the agent, you're the this, you're the that, you're doing the merch, you're doing the tickets, you're doing this, you're making the calls for the next show. Never mind for the show you're already on tonight. You got to make sure, hey, we got the next one lined up. Don't hang up until I ask you this question. You're doing every little thing because you have to have that total commitment. But then my question is, when do you know you burnt out? And I'm not talking about burnt out to the point where you say I quit. I'm talking about when you know that you've plugged that joke, you rewrote it again. You changed the name, you changed the flavor, you changed the audience. Hey, this is a good audience to throw this one out there. How do you know when the joke just ain't a joke?
Well, I'll tell you like this.
I feel like it's not working.
It's not working.
Well, look, when you find that out, the crowd will let you know.
I was about to say, when they're staring at you.
The crowd will let you know, like this. But and it's funny because a comedian called me the other day and was like, Bill, like, I'm seeing your growth. And even jokes that I've known that you've done, I've seen the polish of the joke now.
And that's what I was talking about, changing up.
You got it. You have to, like, I have jokes that I do now that I used to do when I started. And if I show you the joke when I started to compare to now, you're like, oh, you can forget it back then. Like I'm not gonna. I used to have jokes, and I would stop doing it because I was tired of it. It wasn't the crowd. I was tired. But the thing is this: y'all might have never seen me before. I can do the joke for you guys, and you guys are like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. When that joke is daggone 9 years old, But now me growing in my craft, I know how to deliver that joke differently that I can grab it, or I change something to go with the times of what it is. People used to. So I know somebody that's sitting here talking about their kid is a baby when their kid is daggone 17 years old. That kid ain't 2 years old no more.
Right,
so you know what I'm saying? So you got to find a way to get ahead and grow with the times, and even jokes. Okay, I got to change this now. I might have talked about this joke as a single man, but now I'm married, so that
you got to change it up.
So you got to know the people. But when do you know the people? The people will tell you.
And now the answer to like you said, the people, but also one of the questions or in that question you said, when it's not a joke, is I wanna point out when people have hecklers. Because now we're in the state that shout out to people such as Nate Jackson, Matt Rife. It's now a thing where now because they don't want you to have cameras and stuff like that in their performance, but then they turn on the camera and they're highlighting when people are just talking about the audience. They're cracking on the audience,
crowd work.
A whole bunch of crowd work. And there are some comedians that think, that's my time to shine. Let me go ahead. And sometimes people come, and I tell comics this all the time. They paid to see you perform. They didn't pay to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
So in these shows, what they don't tell people is these people paid extra to be a part of the show.
Wow.
You going ahead and pointing out somebody else that just came to see the show, and your thing is, I'm gonna be talking about him and talking about him and talking about him and talking about him, and then I'm wondering why everybody in the crowd is like, "What are you doing? Y'all just can't take a joke." No, the joke is not working because this is no longer funny.
Right. Yeah.
You're now becoming the heckler.
Yeah.
And even though, like Bill said, the underlying thing is the audience would tell you, we as comics, or if you are interested in doing comedy, you have to have that feeling of, you know what, I'm pushing this envelope too far. This joke is not working. You know, I've been like Bill said, I've done tweaked it, I done did this, but I keep getting the same response from the audience. What am I doing wrong? Sometimes it's not believable.
It's not a joke.
But now it's not believable. We don't believe what you're saying. We don't believe what you're saying because when we go to question you, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You're saying, I was watching my 2-year-old daughter and we was watching Inspector Gadget. Really? Really? You was 2-year-old in 2025. You know it's a joke. No, because your audience,
you lost.
And your audience,
just on that. Like, this didn't even show that.
Right, they ain't even showing that. And like you said,
now instead of watching you, they talking on the side. Like,
walking on the side, and they want to know. But like you said, Felice, they believe, and you said this earlier in the podcast, they believe that everything that we say is a part of us. They don't know that we took maybe 80% of the truth and added 20% of talent, and that's how we got 100% of the joke. They think if Bill said, and I'm chopping into it, one of his jokes, if Bill said he told the cop, I'm waiting for that stop sign to turn green, they vision Bill getting out of the car and telling this cop, I am drunk and I'm waiting for that stop sign to turn green. They don't know that Bill took a piece of this and added a bit of this, and it's very believable. So if somebody said, well, Bill, what really happened, man? I was drunk and I was literally sitting there waiting for that stop sign to turn green. Did you get pulled over by the cops? Nah, man, ain't no cops involved, but I had to make it better.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's like I said, that's the part that they don't understand, that sometimes the joke gets burnt out when you don't see the response from the audience, but also you've tried it and you're not being true to yourself. You don't have your voice, and it's never going to work that way.
Okay. Now, so this gives me my burning question, just because we're having this conversation. What, for both of you, was the best joke you ever told?
It's like the one we enjoy the most.
You get to pick. I can't tell you what.
Like, because I mean, it's because my thing is this. I say that it's really on the crowd's reaction, you know, and because like I'll do jokes and it's amazing to me because I wanted to get it out on stage, and I mean they laugh, but like I enjoy now. It's like I used to say I want to stop doing this joke, but like, you know, when I do my whole nail joke, like I used to really like love that joke, but now I be so into it that it's like, yo, I love it. I don't care if people heard it. That like people ask for, and it's the thing when you go to a show and be like, hey, can you do that joke? You know what I mean? Like I say it like this: Ace done retired this joke for so long, but he came and did my show, and all of a sudden I was like a little kid in the candy store when he told the DJ to drop the music and he did this. She got a roach. I was like, I took my phone. I was like, woo, he's doing this. Like, I said, watch this. So when you guys like excitement for stuff, that's when you know you like, okay, that's a classic. You got those classics. It's like, you know.
Okay.
And Bill, I have to agree that over the years, and I can't even tell the audience how many times he can walk in the door and he say something, and when he walk past me and his father will go, that's gonna be on the stage.
My mom, you automatically like, Billy, don't put that on stage.
You automatically know, but you are absolutely right. There have been times where I have sat in the audience and I'm trying to read the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, I wonder if they could deal with she got a roach.
Yeah.
You know.
So, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I want to answer Felice. I gotta give, because Bill did it with me. I was gonna do it anyway. But my favorite, I would say, and then because you don't know where she got a roach came from, I'll give you the origin of it.
Please give it to me.
It was my favorite joke, I have to say now. And it changes because, like Bill said, are we talking about what I love to do or what really hits? I think right now my favorite joke that I'm going to go with is my daughter's joke of watching YouTube, which she is on right now, and talking in her British. Hello, YouTubers. And she has this Britain accent when
Daddy, let me tell the joke, because first off, it's my life.
Right. So that would be my favorite. And for Bill, my favorite joke that he does when he does is, and it's because we had a similar thought. This one I was like, yo, I could see myself writing for him. He has a joke about him being from, New York, but living, growing up in Teaneck, and his wife being from Newark, and seeing a mouse. And he goes through this whole thing of him coming back in with like the glue traps, but he's so scared that he got the double O. He's like boom, 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 boom. He's throwing these traps across, and he's like, he's seen it run across the floor. He like this. You can keep the house. And he grabbed the keys.
Look, I'll be back later. Like, I came in the house, threw the keys, and mouse came. I said, I'll be back later.
Yeah.
Like. And when I seen the mouse, my wife was like, "You go get it." I said, "No, you go get it. You from Newark? You seen them things before?" I said, "I'm from Teaneck. I got grass."
Whenever he does that joke, I'm in tears because I'm like, I had jokes of it, and I'm like, "Yo, you can add this thing," because I stopped doing my mouse joke as far as when it was in my house. I don't do it really too much. I've done it every now and again because it's totally different. But whenever we're on the same show, I don't even touch it. But I'll tell him like, "Yo, you got to do the mouse joint." And like you say with the She Got a Roach, and the She Got a Roach came from the fact that I was dating a girl that had roaches. And it was bad roaches. Like, she had roaches everywhere. And I remember being in high school and telling my mom. And one particular day, my mother was like, well, my mother had already said, like, do not bring them things in here. Whenever you come from my house, you better shake your clothes out, everything. And I never forget.
Get naked at the door.
Right. And I never forget putting on my shoes at her house, and my shoe couldn't go all the way to the front for some reason. I don't know what it was, but I thought it was either a mouse or a bunch of roaches in my shoe. So I had my feet curled up the whole bus ride, everything. I'm scared. And I get to the front of our house that we had at the time in Newark. And I turned, we had a little foyer porch. I turned around and kicked my shoe way off, only to find out it was my sock curled over. That's all. So when I got into comedy, this was during the time where people were doing parodies and all of that stuff. Soldier Boy, She Got a Donk came out, and I was telling a friend of mine, one of my frat brothers, I was telling him like, yo, I want to do a song about roaches. And we was listening to that song, and I just was like, she got a roach. She got a roach. And then I just went ahead and wrote every bit of it. And I didn't know it was going to work until I did William Patterson University in Jersey. And I, like Bill, like he said with the McDonald's Gospel Fest, he had that clean joke. And after that, it was like, whip, where do I go from here?
Once you hear that, you know you have, like, and I say when I did, I was at the Prudential Center. And that was thousands of people in there. I've never performed it. So to hear that roar of laughter for a joke, that feeling right there, once you hear that roar, it's like this. Oh no, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And so then I remember the first time he performed. Well, I saw it. The first time I saw He Got a Roach, the music came on. And I'm not a known, I don't know rappers. I don't know who they are. And if the beat is not a good beat, I ain't even snapping my fingers. I'm just sitting there going, all right, come on. But when he started singing it, I said, he made a record out of that.
And here's the funny part.
It's got a background to it. And the thing is, people
knew what it was.
Who knew the joke were singing the song with him.
Here's the thing, Louise. Here's the thing. So the first time I did it, I didn't have the music because Bill, we used to have a CD and we had music. We would carry a CD around like, hey, DJ, play track 2 when I tell you. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So at this time, I'm stuck. I'm brain is gone. I ain't got no more jokes. And something just said, I think it was just God just saying, dude, she got a roach. And I was like, hey, y'all, I was like, I got this comedy, this comedy album coming out, and I got a song. Y'all know she got a dunk. And they were the kids, like the college cats was like, yeah. And I'm only like 27 at the time, so I'm not too much older than them. I was like, yo, who know how to do the beat? And this dude, it was a drum set behind me. He was like, I could do it. And he sat at the drums. He like, all on the cymbals. And I did the song, and they were dying. And I was like, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, but you know, and it's crazy when me and Ace met each other. Like, we both have songs like spoof songs. Like every year, I do a different on the couch video for the Super Bowl.
By the way, when are you doing that? Because you need me.
Listen. Stay focused.
No, wait, Mom. We are staying focused. The funny
we're not talking about Kansas City.
No. Here's the funny thing. So Bill does a on the couch. He does an on the couch thing for Super Bowl every year, and he does it every year, and every year it's supposed to be the different teams, whoever didn't make it, and he does it off of whoever's performing at the halftime. And he's been building it. He started the thing, and last year he was like, yo, I'm thinking about doing it, but I don't really know how to do. I said, bruh, let's do it. And whoever the performer is every year, take one of their songs and make a spoof to it. So we did Usher last year. But the funny thing was, he was like, so I need you in it because y'all not going to make the Super Bowl. So when we made the Super Bowl last year, I was like this. So what you want to do? And he was like, just send me a video saying y'all made it. That's it. So that's why I had to tease him. Like, so you want me in it again this year?
No, real talk. And the bad part is, I gotta cheer for y'all this year because there's no way I'm cheering for the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, right. There you go.
I hope the Super Bowl ends in a tie. Like that's how I feel right now. Well, but it's like we do these spoof songs, and it gets to the point where I've had DJs been at the club and turn the songs that I've done that people hear, and they hear the song, think it's their song, and then it's my song. Now they forgetting the original song.
Yes.
You know that. But now let me tell you this. That's a little. You know, we just threw y'all something because me and Ace know. Listen, if y'all are out here singing this song every day, right? Y'all singing this song every day. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna give you that same song, but make it mine now. So now when you hear it, you're already excited for what it is. And then you hear what we talking about. Now you locked in and you don't even know. You just watched the whole video.
Listen, I have people that walk up to me because after I say she got a rush, I say spray some Raid on and I put my finger like the Raid. I've had people like the DJ will play it later that night. And like Bill said, they're not singing that. They walking up to me like this. I'm like, yo, you know, so it's a good thing that we're able to do it. But picking a favorite joke is like asking who's your favorite kid. You don't really want to say who it is. You know what I mean? You don't really want to say, but you like, I like this one and I like
this
that
kid
one.
Did good today. Okay, look, got an A today. You know.
Well, I want our audience to know as we wrap up. I want our audience to know that they are for hire. They are you know, available for your receptions, your birthdays, your weddings.
Funerals,
I think you know, funeral.
Yeah, funerals. We do repasses on that kind of stuff.
You know,
we'll knock them dead.
Pastor's anniversary. The
We'll
pastor's
knock them dead. We'll knock them dead.
I think you'll knock them dead at the funeral. Okay. But listen, I really, really, really think that there's so much going on in the world that we need that anxiety release. And a lot of times people don't want to go anywhere unless it's an event that they set up or an event that they know someone set up. But to add to that event, add some woosah to it. You know, add some funny to the fact that, yeah, we had a house full of mice, but this is, this is the humor to it, or this is the way that we can see it a different way, and you can get in touch with each of them. Ace is funny at gmail.com, and you can get in touch with Bill, the Billionaire, 128 at yahoo.com. And either or, if you wanted, if you say, well, I wanted to get in touch with Bill, but I couldn't remember it, remember Ace. And if you want to get Ace up, Ace, you can get in touch with Bill. And if not, you can get in touch with us. We know how to get in touch with everybody in our community. But Felice, throw on them that last question that we asked everybody. You already know what they do.
Well, I know what they do, but again, okay. So I asked, kind of like, that's why I threw in the favorite thing. But here's my question: because entrepreneurs, and you have a ton of things going on. You not only are the comedian, the talent, and you hone the craft. You are fathers, husbands, all of the things. But what do you do to fill your cup, to recharge, to just get back in the game? Because it is a lot, as you have said, all the things, all the hats you wear, and all of that. What do you do to refill, to step away, to just again fill your cup?
Well, mine is cliche. So
yeah, what's yours?
Mine is very cliche, and I'm not saying this. I don't want anybody to think I'm saying this being like, oh, he just said it's set up.
I know what he was about to say.
What I'm gonna say? Let me see.
Okay.
I just want to be in my family. And
no. Real talk. No. I call this dude.
Oh man, you come
like for real. Like whenever, like there, and the reason why is because, like you said, us being the same as far as the same profession, having a family, being fathers, you know what I'm saying? I remember when his kids was born. He remember when mine was born. And then building that family bond where, like I said, blood don't make us no closer. Whenever I do get in that funk that you're talking about and I need to recharge, I call him. Sometimes it's about comedy. Sometimes it's just about life.
Conversations.
It's just conversation, being able to say, yo, I need to talk. And we have those conversations where we don't speak to each other like, would you don't like me today? Like, what's up? Like, I ain't heard from you in a minute. Like, what's good?
But we both been in those things that you got. But I think, like what Ace said, the one thing is important is having those people that aren't going to be those yes men and that are going to be real with you and have those conversations. And sometimes it's just being in the air because we have so much. We're so much always in the spotlight, and we seem like our lives are just amazing. But knowing, like, when we get on that stage, we're in a different world. So once we get off that stage and life starts to hit you again, it's like, dang, I'm back here. So I'll go ahead and I'm appreciative of having him. But I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna tell you what mine is. And Ace and them, they get at me all the time because this is just what I do. I'm a golfer now.
That's the show, ladies and gents.
I'm a golfer now, okay? Don't ask me am I good. I look good doing it, but that's the difference. I look good. Everything I do, look good. But it's just something that I do now. It's a place of peace, and it's something that I suck at. That I know I suck, but I keep going back and trying to be great at it. It's gonna probably be some years.
Hold up.
Yeah, they call me Hollywood, and I'm very humble.
Hollywood. That's why I said that's the show. He started off. We was cool with him. Everything was cool. He started off like, yo, I'm gonna go play some golf. We like golf. We like, yeah. We was like, all right, cool. And then he FaceTimed us. We getting ready for the podcast. He FaceTime. Big shout out to our other two partners. Meek and Cash. He FaceTime us. We watching him. We joking with him. And then the next thing you know, we like, yo, do you got a polo shirt on? Yeah. Like this. Yeah, look, like this. Yeah, it got the Save Dish logo with the golf man on it.
I'm branded. I'm always about
branding. He like this. I'm thinking about doing a Save Dish golf tournament. We like, yo, you're not good. You're not good. He like this. Don't worry about all that. Then all of a sudden, he's sitting there with cleats on, and I'm like, yo, are those golf cleats?
Yeah.
I got the new Jordans. You know what I mean? What?
I told you, I'm gonna look the part.
Like you're not
the part.
He in virtual reality, hitting it across the screen. Too much.
I'm fully invested. It's a very expensive.
There you
sport.
Go big or go home. If you got a name like Billionaire, you got to go all in.
Come on, I gotta get used to these rooms that I'm about to be in.
Right.
You gotta speak these things into existence. Okay?
Wait, Felice, I don't know. I hope you and my mom relationship don't ever get to this point when you call each other as business partners and friends. It should be, hey girl, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? How's everything? Hold up, what you doing? You busy? Nah, girl, what you need? It should never get to a point where I'm like this. Hey, bro. Hey, let me call you back. I got 4 more hoes left. Bro, golf is more important than me.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, like
and then he called me back. You know, I was on a roll until you called me. No,
yo, I swear, go. Like we'll go out there and it's just so peaceful. I don't be on my phone. And then I got matching bags. We in the golf, having a great time. Ace out here like that. Yo, you gonna be home for the show? My man, can I breathe for a second? I'll talk to you on the way home. But the thing I can say about me and Ace, we be driving, doing shows. I will have a show about an hour away. Ace is going about an hour. Ace be driving 3 hours. I'm flying. I'm up in the air. But me and Ace will sit on the phone. We talk about life. We sitting there doing jokes on the way there. Like, yo, I'm gonna use this tonight. I'm gonna get ahead and do this. Yo, you got to do this. But you got to have that, that support. And I appreciate this man like so much to, for just helping me, pushing me. Because for him to say, and it's crazy because a lot of people can't do what he did. He said to me, he said, yo, Bill, this is you about to be. I said, nah, bro, we both could. He said, no, I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be Pippin right now. I want to get here and sit here. He said that spotlight, you can have that. He said I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't want it. Do what I gotta do, but you got that support with somebody that still wants to see you win. That's in the same, because everybody don't want to see you win like that.
And you know what it sounds like? It sounds like to me the same thing that I tell Felice all the time. You got the shovel.
Right.
Because I need somebody that's gonna bury them when they ain't supposed to be around us.
Come on now.
You watch them when they're not gonna be around us. We're gonna close out our show and thank everybody for being here. But before we go, I just want to mention that they do have a podcast, a good brunching podcast, and look out for the tag when it comes in. They have the good brunching. We're not talking about somebody getting up and just making a piece of toast and one side is black and the other side is brown. We're talking about them having good conversation. We're talking about them having good topics. We're talking about them having inspirational Mondays. So look out for that. Look out for them airing their podcast as well. And gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for being a part of our audience and a part of our show. And we wish you the best in all of your endeavors. And we need you to just tweak certain things when you see it, send the right link for us to
I got you. Can I send a plug real quick? Hey, if you are in the New York, New Jersey area, go check my brother out at the Apollo Theater. He will be at the Apollo. What's the date, bro? March 6th. March 6th. Go get those tickets now to see my brother at the Apollo. He will be performing live in full effect. If you are in the NYC, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut area, go support him. That's the only way we can make this bread. Go see my brother.
Come on, man.
All right. So let's wrap this up, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. And we hope that, someone gets the message that it's not just being funny. It's about business. It's about being about the business. So good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good night. It was a blast. I knew it.
Have a good evening. Have
a good night, everyone.
Good night.